There is something profound about holding a mechanical watch in your hand, feeling the subtle vibration of a balance wheel oscillating 18,000 times per hour, each beat a tiny heartbeat of brass and steel. Now imagine that inside that same watch, nestled impossibly within the movement itself, a soldier had concealed his wedding band, not as a sacrifice, not out of desperation, but as an act of extraordinary love, ingenuity, and quiet defiance against the chaos of World War II. This is the story of what men carried when they could carry almost nothing, and what that tells us about human resilience that still speaks directly to the modern survivalist and bushcraft practitioner today. The standard-issue mechanical service watch of World War II was no ordinary timepiece. The American A11, often called the watch that won the war, and the British Dirty Dozen collection represented the peak of utilitarian horological engineering. These watches featured legible matte dials with luminous radium numerals, anti-magnetic movements, shock-proof cases, and critically a hacking mechanism, a feature that allowed a soldier to stop the second hand dead, so that synchronized assaults could be timed to the precise beat. In the field, your watch wasn't an accessory. It was a tactical instrument, as vital as your compass or your rifle. But beyond its military function, the watch became something else entirely, a container of identity. Soldiers departing for the Pacific Theatre or the beaches of Normandy knew they might be required to surrender personal jewellery before combat. Rings could snag on equipment, catch moonlight at the wrong moment, or identify a body in ways that complicated operations. And so some men, clever, heartbroken, determined men, found another way to keep their most sacred possession close. To conceal a wedding band inside a working mechanical watch requires a level of horological understanding that most people never develop in a lifetime. The movement of a vintage service watch is a compressed universe of interdependent components. The mainspring, the gear train, the escapement, and the impossibly delicate hairspring that governs the balance wheel's rhythm. Disturb any one of these, and the watch stops. Disturb the wrong one, and it stops permanently. The soldiers, or watchmakers, who performed this modification understood that the only viable space within the case was the perimeter, the narrow ring of real estate between the inner case wall and the outermost edge of the movement. A thin gold or silver band, carefully reduced in width through filing or lathing, could be seated in this space like a hidden crown. The balance wheel would still swing freely, the hands would still turn, but pressed against the brass, invisible beneath a closed caseback, the ring would ride with its owner through every foxhole, every river crossing, every sleepless night under artillery fire. This was trench art, elevated to its highest form, not decoration, but devotion made functional. Modern bushcraft teaches us to inventory what we carry with great intentionality. Every ounce matters. Every item should serve multiple purposes. The wartime soldier operated under those same ruthless principles, and what emerges from their story is a survival philosophy that goes far beyond fire-making or shelter construction. It is the philosophy of carrying your reason to survive alongside your means to survive. A soldier in the European theatre moved through landscapes that could kill him in a dozen ways before noon. Trench foot from standing water that never truly drained, hypothermia from nights when temperatures dropped and wool blankets were already soaked through, malnutrition from rations that provided calories but stripped the body of everything else. In that environment, morale was not a soft concept. It was a measurable combat resource. Unit cohesion, mental sharpness, the willingness to push through one more mile, all of it degraded without the psychological anchor of identity and love. That hidden ring, ticking quietly against a man's wrist, was doing fieldcraft work just as surely as his entrenching tool. Today, when we talk about everyday carry, about the gear we bring into the wilderness, or the kit we build for uncertainty, we tend to focus almost exclusively on the functional, the knife, the fire steel, the water filter, and those things matter enormously. But the men of the Second World War remind us that what you carry in your mind and your heart directly determines how long you can carry anything at all. The hidden wedding band inside a working mechanical watch is not merely a curiosity of wartime ingenuity. It is a masterclass in integrated survival thinking, where technical skill, emotional intelligence, and material resourcefulness converge into a single, quietly ticking object. When you build your kit, build it with intention. Know why each piece is there, and if something you carry connects you to something worth coming home to, find a way to keep it close, because that connection may be the most load-bearing piece of equipment you own. If this episode opened your eyes to the deeper layers of wartime fieldcraft and the remarkable ingenuity of those who lived it, subscribe to Fieldcraft Chronicles, where history, survival, and self-reliance meet. Share this video with every history enthusiast, bushcraft learner, and prepared individual in your life. These stories deserve to be heard, and the lessons they carry are more relevant today than ever.